Hello, good morning. It's Monday the 19th. I'm FX Plu and this is the market brief. So what's going on with Brexit? Well, the trade talks ended last week with no agreement. Fishing rights and state aid remained points of contention. And we saw UK Chief Negotiator Lord Frost claim Brussels had no genuine interest in finding a solution. Boris has also been on. He said there's little point in Michel Barnier visiting London this week without a significant change of heart from the EU. So all in all, trade negotiations aren't going so well. And as things stand, looks like we'll be reverting to WTO terms from January the 1st. Up north, the COVID standoff with the Mayor of Manchester continues. Andy Burnham doesn't want the city moved into Tier 3 without much better financial support provided to those affected. It's been reported that Boris has put 100 million on the table to move this along as hospitals are under increasing pressure to cope. Sterling was pretty choppy last week, albeit in a fairly narrow range. We saw trade between 128.60 and 130.85, and we kick off the new week around 129.40 against the US dollar. The US economy is still trundling along okay. It's not setting any records, but equally it doesn't need any further stimulus from the Fed just yet. The priority over there is still very much for the stimulus package to be agreed by Congress. Before that's signed off, it's unlikely the Fed will intervene, but it looks unlikely that we'll see agreement anytime before the election. In the polls, Biden has still got a lead, but Trump has held several large rallies and appears to be closing the gap. Biden also maintains a lead in the swing states, but so did Hillary Clinton 4 years ago, and she tripped up and fell on her face on the home straight, didn't she? In the Eurozone, fears are growing of another full lockdown as infection rates are rising exponentially. Macron has ordered a curfew in France, which has the highest number of cases in Europe now. But the scientific community sees this as pretty pointless and more likely to be a symbolic gesture on the way towards a full lockdown. Of course, it's fairly unlikely he'll follow Boris with a 3-tier system. That would just really annoy everyone before going into full lockdown anyway, right? Euro dollar fell back a bit last week. We touched a low of 116.90. And we open the new week around 117.10 for that currency pair. Right, that's it from me. Hope you have a wonderful week ahead. Do join me again tomorrow. I'll look forward to seeing you then. All the best.
If you do not have a clue, then just tweet through and ask FX Blue.